Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Oil Stream. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas with you on today's edition of the program. YouTube Trev, making sure everything's running smoothly inside the EST Global HQ. As always, get in on the conversation. Text us 780-218-9999. Or if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button, please. And thank you. I heard Rick saying it. We're on the march to 10,500 subscribers, and I like to see that number growing. That's great. If you haven't already told your friends, please do. We've got a great thing here at EST, and it's nice to hear people catching on. The Oilers take on the Penguins. We're going to deep dive into that, obviously. Edmonton switching their practice to an optional today, so kind of takes away some of the meat of the morning, but still lots to go over as Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and Jesse Puljujärvi are in town to take on the on a busy sports weekend in general, and then obviously tonight with the Oilers taking on the Pens, and then the Elks facing the Argos. Dusty on the call with his acquaintance Glenn Suter. I'll be patrolling the sidelines. Nanso, you dressed up, looking sharp. You and Trev will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game show tonight.
Yeah.
And then Awanik and Milne have the green and gold kickoff and post-game show. If you're going, how the hell are you guys going to pull this off? Well, let me tell you. Both shows simultaneously will be on YouTube. Amazing. And then the Oil Stream pregame show brought to you by GCL Diesel will have precedent on the audio stream, iHeart, TuneIn, Apple Music, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And then same goes for the postgame. The football game, for whatever reason, starting in a half hour later than the hockey game. I'm going to freeze my tushy off.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Right now, it's
but
great.
I mean, at 7:30.
At 7:30 down, you know what it's like down there on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's gonna be a chilly one. I was gonna
Thermal
say
gear,
long,
thermal underwear.
long underwear.
Yeah.
Double socks.
Yes.
The leather gloves.
Yes.
A nice
Scarf, I think, tonight.
Scarf 3/4 with a winter jacket.
Yeah.
And maybe some earmuffs.
I have those. I will be ready. Looking forward to it. You guys are going to crush it. As always, on the pre- and post-game show. Good to have Trev on there again.
Let's hope.
Don't give me the look.
It's the first time I'll be hosting pre- and post.
It's going to be awesome.
In my life. So
You've only done hundreds of these.
Yeah.
Trev's giggling over there.
Yeah. Trev's gonna be on air a lot, so get ready, kid. You better bring the
he's
heat.
fine. He'll be all right. So. All right. Any concerns about this game? Let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999, as well as the nasty chat. A lot of, man, I know Dusty, he popped off when we were at BP the other day, Kingsway. Great time over there. Thank you to Alyssa Daytona and the crew over at Boston Pizza Kingsway. And a lot of people bringing up the goal. Dusty popped off about the goaltending, and then I was talking to some people yesterday, and they were ripping on Skinner still, and I'm just like, oh my God, you guys. No. And these are people that, like, talk to you as if, like, they talk to me as if I don't know the team, and they're like, this is why this is happening. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, all right. You know it better than I do. But please continue.
This is what I found that people keep bringing up his goals against and his save percentage for the season so far.
Yeah, they're bad.
And we were talking about the last game. He was good. Don't tell me his save percentage and goals against, because I know it.
Well, good point, because guess which game got referenced the most? Winnipeg.
Yeah.
In this conversation. So I just sat there and I listened. I'm like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like when
I'm disagreeing with everything in my mind and like just listening, taking it.
And there we go. Oh, you guys are Stuart Skinner. You guys love him. No, we're talking about last game where he was good.
Are we Skinner defenders? Are we nurse protectors?
Oh,
like,
God.
Make up your mind, you guys. Continue.
Sorry. And yeah, so it was just one of those things. Does Stuart Skinner all around 8 games in have to be better 100%? Is he coming off his best game in a loss? Yes, he is. He was fantastic in that game. Can't really blame him for any of the 3 goals. There is some poor play, but yeah, I'm more concerned about the special teams, Tom.
They're awful.
I'm more concerned about Chris Knobloch continually changing the lines. Like there's no chemistry. There's no cohesion here. It's just, hey, we played well, but I'm going to switch it up again. I don't get Paul Colson moving into the top 6. People can give me his analytics and he leads the team in hits, but what has he done?
0.
Exactly. So that fires me up too. And the decor is the decor. Like they're not a good group. So my expectations are very low for them. So if they play just okay, I think I'm pretty happy, Tom, because this is not an elite group of defensemen that they have.
Their best defensemen have not even been playing that well either.
No.
The top pairing has been spotty.
Well, so Dusty's rant, and then on the O stream, and then because on the post-game show, I made 3 points, and one of them was Bouchard needs to be better.
He has been bad.
Dusty tweeted it with what I said, and then I just got bombarded on Twitter. Like, oh, you protect Nurse. It's always Evan. I said, guys, we're talking about this game, and Evan Bouchard does need to be better.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring up Darnell Nurse last post-game, Tom. You know why?
Because he was okay.
Because he was okay.
That's right.
And if you've listened to me since I've been back in the radio world or whatever,
yes,
you know I'm very hard on Darnell.
Correct.
But I'm not gonna just jump on him every game when they lose when he had nothing to do with it.
Correct. Oh, Joaquin Gage.
That's it. I'm done.
No more Oilers talk. He says save a little for your show. EST Afternoon's coming up next with Joaquin Gage and the Latino Heat, Hernan Salas. So what say you? If you're wondering what lines we're talking about, well, yesterday was a full practice. Today, like I mentioned earlier in the show, an optional. The team switched it up. So limited players hitting the ice. I think I saw like just a handful when we got the update from Oilers PR. And McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman is how they skated yesterday. Draisaitl with Arvidsson on his right, and like Nanso was referring to, Vasily Podkolzin, he of 0 points through 7 games on the left side of the second line. Adam Henrique between Jeff Skinner and Connor Brown. Derek Ryan centering Matthias Janmark, who had a bad game.
He did.
Made some critical errors in that one the other night against Carolina. He is on the fourth line with Ryan and Corey Perry on the right side. On defense, Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard. They have not been really strong this year, although they are the 2 best defensemen on the team. Darnell Nurse, who has had an okay start to the year, back on the left side with Troy Stetcher on the right. Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson, who looks like he is set to return to the lineup on the defensive side of things. Nurse, like you said, I thought he was all right on the right side. There were a couple of spots where he, in his own zone, where he had to pick up passes, and I think you could tell instinctively he wanted to cut to the left.
Yeah.
His strong side that he's played his entire career. And he's like, oh, yeah, I got to go to the other side. But I think in all, I thought he was all right. And if you're pinpointing him on that second goal, wrong. If you're pinpointing him on anything, like he had an okay night.
He did. And listen, he was fine on the right side, Tommy. I still think it's just not an ideal situation with this decor. It's the first time we've seen a coach try Nurse on the other side, and it just goes to show you that they don't have answers right now. It's not Chris Knobloch's fault. He's stuck with what he's been given by Jeff Jackson and Stan. I keep calling him Stu Bowman, Stan Bowman, and there's not help coming anytime soon. At least that's my opinion. I could be wrong. But this is the decor you're going to have for at least 3-4 months here.
Can I tell you something? You're right. There is no help coming. There really isn't. Others might want to tease and try to get their ratings up by saying that there will be, but there's not.
How about this one, Chris G? Should we panic?
No.
If the Oilers lose tonight?
No.
I mean, it's going to be
upset. Absolutely.
It's going to be spicy on a Friday night. It
already will be.
But yeah, if they lose tonight, oof.
I don't think panic would be the right way to go about it. I think anger and frustration is fair. And I think we've seen a fair share of anger and frustration. Although, I mean, they did play a good game on Tuesday. They made critical mistakes. They didn't capitalize on some chances, nor did Carolina.
Yeah.
Plus, Anderson played very well. Skinner played very well. I think back to the Hyman opportunity where he got sent in by McDavid. He wants to go forehand, backhand, try to tuck it between the pads of Freddie Anderson. Anderson makes a nice save on that. The Canes tied up after. and then win it in OT on two guys blowing the zone with less than 10 seconds left, leaving a 2-on-1 with two of Carolina's best players, including their best player finishing it off. And then people saying Skinner should have had some of those.
And one of those guys being your best player and your captain.
That's right.
Seriously, let's just
call it how it is. They both blew the zone.
Yeah.
Those are the mistakes I'd be mad about if those continue. Now, if they start tidying them up, which I think they have against Dallas and to a certain extent against Carolina, two good teams, I think there's been some good indicators lately, Nanso.
Yeah. I think their game is getting better and better. It's not where they want it to be. I wish we knew why this team starts like this. I wish we had all the answers. I don't even think they do to a certain extent.
Yeah, they're kind of befuddled.
But just getting back to that third period, I think it's their worst period so far this season. I think they've been outscored 15-4 so far.
They have 14 goals.
It's terrible.
It is bad.
I mean, Hyman's eventually, I don't think Hyman's going to hit 40. Because Dusty asked me this a few weeks ago, over under 35. I said under. But I still think Hyman's going to find his groove. The guy I'm really concerned about is Nuge. He's playing really. You're not noticing him, and as a forward, that's not a good thing. As a defenseman, it's a good thing, but as a forward, it's not. MIA. I don't know what's going on with him, but one of these guys has to get going for the Edmonton Oilers because I know Arvidsson sits at 0 goals.
0 points.
Oh, wow. 0 points.
Him, Hyman.
But I've liked certain
Podkolzin
games.
And Ryan all have no points.
Like he's looked all right, though, right? He looks better than Nuge.
Arvidsson, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like more effective in it. Nugent Hopkins, 3 assists, -2 through 7 games. His game, I think, needs to round into form as well. Not effective positively.
No.
I think that's a fair assessment.
And do you think we're going to see the power play units we saw at practice today?
Like the switched up ones?
Yeah.
I think so. Like, why? I heard some texts coming into the morning show the last couple of days being like, oh, we all know they're going to go back to the old faithful power plays come Friday. I laughed at that too. Like, eventually they're going to go back to it. We know that. But I think if you switch it up at practice and you threaten to switch it up a couple of days prior following a game, you give them one last chance. They get you one, but really it was off a rush, a give-and-go play between McDavid and Draisaitl. It wasn't on an established power play because when they got in the zone, if they got in the zone, Carolina was just very aggressive all over the Oilers, and the power play really couldn't get anything going the other night. So if you switch it up the next practice after threatening to do it and then giving your guys that opportunity, that last chance, quote-unquote, they still don't give you what you desire, and then you go with the shuffle the next practice. If you go right back to what you had before without implementing the switched up power plays, your threats become hollow.
Yeah, you lose credibility.
Yes, and your guys know that they can screw up, do whatever they want, and there's ultimately zero consequence. So I think they go with the power play units that they practiced with the other night, or the other day, pardon.
They better. And might take 1 or 2 to get going because you got new players. This power play unit's been together for 3 years now. But so, yeah, I'm with you. I think I said it yesterday to Gage. You're like, he can't tease us and throw these out there for practice and all, and then go back to the original line. Like you said, I think you lose a lot with your team,
right,
and with the fan base when you do that. Because so far so good. Jeff Skinner on the third line to start before the first game sent a message.
Yeah,
bench Leon Draisaitl sent a message. Both have worked because Leon came back in that game and won it for the Oilers, and Skinner has been one of their best forwards so far this season. So yeah, it's hey man, Nuge, you haven't done squat. Hyman, you haven't scored yet. You're going on the second unit. What I am intrigued though is how he splits the 2 units up. Is the number 1 unit with McDavid and Draisaitl still going to get a minute 40?
They can't. They shouldn't. So, pardon me. They shouldn't.
Why?
Because they've been ineffective through 7 games with those 2.
But that's what I mean. Is he going to now be like, hey, since I split up that first unit that's been historic and great and all that, but they're struggling this year, am I going to give each of these units equal time? As close to
I would assume as much.
I hope so. Yeah, I think that's the plan. I really hope so. I could see McDavid and Dry staying out for the full thing.
They shouldn't. but opportunities to come off, and sometimes they blow by the bench. So we'll see how that goes tonight. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Yes or no?
Elliot Friedman, Kaylor Yamamoto on waivers.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Good player, young.
guy.
Size is an issue with him, obviously.
Sure.
But, yeah, I'm a little surprised he hasn't been able to
Crack that Utah Hockey Club lineup.
find a groove after he left Edmonton. Are the lineups in from Chris G? Yeah,
Yes.
we gave them already.
Yeah,
right?
I will go over them one more time. For the Oilers, here's what we're anticipating. McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Draisaitl centering Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Do you like Podkolzin up there? I don't think that's going to work or last very long. Henrique between Skinner and Brown. I like that line. I like Henrique. I like Brown so far this season. I know offensively it hasn't been lights out for them, but I like their general play overall. They're not hurting the team defensively too much. They did have a bad game last week, I believe. Fourth line, Derek Ryan between Matthias Janmark and Corey Perry. Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, Troy Stetcher, Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson. That's what we're getting from the Oil. And then the Penguins, who are probably just finishing up their pregame skate. If they went full pull today, let's see what they had for lines. This is from Haley Hunter. She has Sidney Crosby between Drew O'Connor and Brian Rust. Evgeny Malkin between Michael Bunting and Ricard Raquel. He's having a good start to the season. Lars Eller centering Anthony Beauvillier and Cody Glass. Noel Achari with Kevin Hayes and Jesse Puljujarvi wearing number 18. Good number. My favorite number. Marcus Pettersson with Chris Letang. Matt Grzelcyk with Eric Carlson. Ryan Graves with Jack St. Avani. I hope I'm saying Ivani. There's a I'll get the pronunciation guide. They have it on the NHL Media website. So that is the lineups starting in goal tonight. It's got to be Skinner going for the Oilers. I haven't checked up on this since we did the oil stream. Skinner's unconfirmed, and Joel Blomqvist. Blomqvist. For the Pens.
22-year-old.
Yeah. And they are healthy scratching Tristan Jarry.
Well, I guess he's back in Pittsburgh working on his game, according to reports on the good old internet. So, interesting, eh?
That is interesting. There's your lineups for today. Chris G. And Chris G says he's deciding between Century Casino or Boston Pizza tonight, trying to decide what to do. I would love to meet you and the crew. Chris G. Oil Stream is in studio today. And Boston Pizza Sunday, Westgate, across the street from West Edmonton Mall. The boys, Maddie and Milne, will be live on location at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge tonight.
Yeah, so the pre and post is not on location tonight. So
that's right.
We made your decision for you. Who put that in the nasty chat? So you can go hang out with Jay and Maddie. Watch
times.
both games.
Watch both games. A lot of great screens, great food, game day specials, all that stuff. So, all right, let's get to some texts because people have a lot of frustrations with this Oilers team. It's been a few days since the last game, and I think some pent up anticipation, frustration, agony. Let's find out. Let's go into the inbox. Coach Mike says, is first place in the Pacific Division completely up for grabs this season? Early prediction on the eventual top three. Coach Mike, I still think the Oilers end up there.
They better. I mean,
Edmonton, Vegas.
Do you think Calgary falls off hard?
Yeah.
Or because me and Gager think they're obviously gonna fall a bit, but we don't think they're as bad as a lot of people think.
I do think they're bad.
Really?
Yeah, I'll stand by that.
Okay, I like it. Because right now, Calgary, LA, up there, two teams I thought would be on the bottom.
Teams.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So
Calgary's punching above its weight class.
Yeah,
good job. It's very exciting for them, but I think reality will hit. We've seen Buffalo. How many times in the last 5 years has Buffalo gotten off to the same type of start as the Flames and then wind up at the bottom of the standings?
No,
at least twice
in
the last 5 years.
And Greg Wyszynski on Dusty's show called them idiots because
in Buffalo?
No, in Calgary.
Oh, in Calgary.
Because he's like, "What are you guys doing?
Right.
Like
blowing their chance at a
like at a lottery pick or whatever you want to call it." But he's right. But I mean, try to tell Calgary that they will never rebuild, ever.
Yeah. Okay. They've already kind of started that process. Great start for them, though. Kudos to them. All the credit in the world to the Flames, but I think at some point reality sets in. Has it happened yet? No. Will it? I think so. I stand by that.
Loomis says
first place is up for grabs, Coach Mike, in my opinion.
Yeah, Loomis says, LOL, I don't think they make it top in the division. Well, you never know. I mean, it's still early. The Oilers.
They're 2-4-1. We've played 7 games here.
Smitty
Relax.
Smitty the Welder says, have you watched the Flames yet this year? They've been outplayed almost every game. No, I haven't. So outside of the Oilers
I watched
game.
them a couple times, and I was like, yeah. They played good against Edmonton, but Edmonton stunk.
The team that scares me is Vancouver.
Really?
Man, those guys are feisty.
They work hard.
Yeah.
What do you think about Coach Mike's question about first place being up for grabs in the Pacific?
I think it's up for grabs for 3 teams.
Okay.
I think Edmonton will eventually be there. I think Vancouver's not going anywhere. And I think Vegas is going to be there.
Vancouver 3-1-2 through 6 games. They've won their last 3. The Flames 5-1-1 to start the year. Good on them. And then the Kings, they won last night 4-2-2. I think they finally got their first game in at Crypto.com Arena. 7-game homestand or road trip to start the season. Finally back at home, and the Golden Knights 4-2-1. Yeah. How about those Colorado Avalanche? They've rattled off 4 straight.
Yeah, they're finding their groove.
Last week it was all gloom and doom. It's changed a little bit.
That's what the Oilers need, right? They need to go on a bit of a run here.
Start with 1 tonight. All right, let's go to this one. 780-218-9999. It's got to be pretty hard for a team to get out of preseason mode when the coach is firmly planted in preseason mode. I really wish he would just quit dicking around with the lines and let chemistry build already. I don't disagree with that text, Hernan.
No, I've said it in the opening. Stop changing the damn lines. And if today, for some reason, Tom is going rough 25 minutes in, I better not see Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl together because I'll lose it. Like, enough with that. Roll with your damn lines. Let them play 4 or 5 games together. Build some damn chemistry because right now, I think outside a 2-3 game stretch when he had the nuclear line together, he switched them every single game. Let them play. Let them work through it. Jeff Skinner's been the best Oiler forward, and again, he's had success with Brown and Enrique. I get it, but did you really bring him down to play on the bottom 6?
No. However, I think, you can rely on flexibility in the forward unit. I'll lean towards that's kind of what this is. Now, what gets me and what's saving Vasily Podkolzin and Matthias Janmark is Podkolzin gets the bump up to the second line with Draisaitl, even though he's done diddly squat. And listen, he hasn't played a ton. He's not playing a ton of minutes. He's essentially a 4th-line grinder. I don't think he has a lot of offensive upside. I like that he's aggressive. I like that he skates hard. I like that he tries to get around it. That's good. That's a good 4th-liner. And if Matthias Janmark didn't play such a bad game the other night, he'd probably be out of the line. Like if the Oilers had a 13th forward, I think Janmark would get a healthy scratch tonight.
Well, that's the thing.
But they have to move the pieces that they have available around.
It's so frustrating because they can't, and Dusty said it too, they can't, if they had a regular roster and you had to run the cap, they would be able to sit guys when they play bad. Outside of going back with between Dermott and Eberson and Stetcher, like who cares?
Yeah.
All those 3 guys, they are what they are, and they're not going to make a huge impact on your team. But like when Janmark plays a bad game, it'd be nice to have Noah Philp or whoever you want up here and say, hey, you're going in.
Not the case. Not the case. All right. This is the Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. The $15 lunch menu is here. Check it out. We did the other day at Boston Pizza Kingsway. They've got some great deals. I think like you could get half a brute with the side for $15, and if it's not ready in 20 minutes, I think your order is free, if I recall correctly. And
really?
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it?
I like that.
Yeah. They get it.
I love the brute.
Lunch breaks are short. That's why the new lunch menu delivers within 20 minutes, where your next lunch is on them.
Cool.
That's how it works. Check it out. Great food. I had the brute the other day
It's good.
with coleslaw.
The Brute's good. The what's the other one called?
Stromboli, the one that
No.
Dusty
the Big
orders.
Dipper.
Big Dipper.
That's roast beef,
They
right?
have the chicken Thai wrap, which is great. They have a
Their wings are
buffalo
awesome.
mac and cheese, which is delicious. Trev had the boneless wings, 2 orders. Corey B had the fish bowl on a Wednesday afternoon because he was off work. Bronco Nick came in. Mo was there. Good turnout. My dad, his friends Steve and Jackie and Dawn.
Oh, wow.
And a couple others. It was awesome. It was a good time. So go check them out. If you're hungry. If it's not ready in 20 minutes, your next lunch is on them. $15 lunch menu at Boston Pizza.
Put them on your, take the time. Put them on your timer.
Put them on the
Stopwatch.
timer. That's right. Joel said, Tommy, you said we. Yeah, I said we have only seen, or we've only played or watched 7 games, something like that. I
Yeah,
didn't
like
mean it.
we.
I'm not on the team, Joel, but thank you for keeping me honest. Cozy said, I didn't like the 3-year deal at $1.45 million cap hit for Janmark. Cozy, I get that, but they kind of strung him along with the last 2 years with the 1-year deals, and I think they showed some loyalty to him on those.
I mean, again, guys, like Janmark had a bad game. Doesn't mean he sucks.
Bad game.
And he's terrible. And like we break it down in game by game. Yes, we can talk about the whole season too, but doesn't mean Janmark. Why did we sign him? They should trade him. They should sit him out. We just said if you're able to have an extra forward, you'd sit him out, and that's fine because you're holding players accountable. But it doesn't mean Matthias Janmark shouldn't be here and shouldn't play on your 4th line because for me, he's a valuable piece to the bottom 6.
Exactly. And we're not forgetting, but we recognize he had a very good postseason. He was a very effective player in the postseason, and generally, he's a reliable player, had a bad game. And there's consequences on most teams that carry 13 forwards for having bad games, especially if you're a bottom sixer. You don't play the next game.
So I brought up Yamamoto. People were like, should the Oilers pick him up?
No. I knew that was coming. The answer is no.
Yamamoto doesn't help
Thank you for asking, though.
Yes, he doesn't help you. He's not what the Oilers need. Plain and simple.
That is correct.
And not saying he's a bad player.
I knew that was coming. As soon as
Of
you brought him up,
course.
I'm like,
everybody that
somebody's
hits
gonna ask
waivers should be on the Oilers, Tommy. You know that.
Yeah. Who was the guy from Columbus last year? The people were
Danforth.
Like, Justin Danforth. People are like, well, you got Danforth. Like, why?
Because this is Edmonton, okay? Just give me a name. Any name in the NHL.
Any name in the NHL. Justin Evans.
By tomorrow, we're going to have 20 blogs. Everybody in their show is going to talk about it and how
Or
the Oilers,
Jake Evans.
How are the Oilers are going to acquire him.
Thank
because
you.
that's how it is. Anyone says a name, I really like the Dante Fabro stuff. Where the hell did that come out of? Someone just said Dante Fabro, I'd really like him in the Oilers, and everybody was talking about him. And there was nothing
silly.
to it. That's Edmonton. You just bring up a name and it takes off. So
Jake Evans blogs tomorrow to the Oilers?
tomorrow,
Yeah, okay.
blogs, will be all over Twitter. Every show will talk about it and how the Oilers are going to acquire Jake Evans to help their bottom 6. That's the guy from Montreal. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Justin Evans lives here. Good friend of Laurent Brossois. And good dude. I think he fought some MMA too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right. Roland texting in says, do you guys think they moved Skinner off of Leon's line because he has a tendency to hang on to the puck instead of passing it back to Leon? What would you say?
Who's that?
Skinner.
No, I mean,
I would have just kept him there.
you can't. I get you gotta learn how to play with Leon, but you can't just always defer to him.
Right.
That's not how it works. So no, Skinner's been top 3 forward on this team since the start of the season, and he's played with everyone, it seems.
That's a credit to him being a top forward on this team, but he shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see Paul Colson today there, and now
That's not going to last.
now that we said this, Tom, he's going to score tonight. Just
I hope
watch.
so.
Just
Good.
stick it to it.
Good.
Yeah,
I
of
hope he
course.
scores. That would be great.
But
Good.
now I'm starting to see why he fell out of favor with Rick Tocchet because he's out there. He can throw some hits, and you can see he's got skill. You can see it, but he just doesn't do anything.
Well,
there's not much.
Okay,
there.
If we're gonna look at Podkolzin, from what I've gleaned watching him preseason and through 7 games this year, skates well.
Yes.
Big body, willing to use it.
Mm-hmm.
His puck touches aren't great.
Nope.
And I don't think he has good offensive abilities.
Okay.
In the NHL.
Yeah.
You need to be elite to have good offensive abilities in the NHL. I could see him getting his offense from simplicity, banging and crashing, being heavy on the puck, creating chaos in front of the net. That's where I could see him having offensive success. But if you're expecting him to make give-and-go plays with top 6 guys and be this absolutely fantastic finesse player, I think that would be a misread on his game. Could he moonlight in your top 6 from time to time? I guess so, but I don't think that's an ideal situation. I don't think it's going to last that long. And if he scores tonight, Hernan, and I'm wrong about this, great. Fantastic.
Yeah. How long do these lines last tonight? That's always the
2
the
periods.
fun question. Well,
Even if they're winning, 2 periods. There will be a tweak at some point in the game. If you could put a prop bet on it, I would. All right, let's go to this one. Then we're going to take a look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. Eden says, hey, boys, does this smell like a high-scoring game tonight? Crosby's been relatively quiet. The Oilers' stars have yet to really break out, and both teams aren't great at preventing goals. Eden 100% could see a lot of offense in this game. I hope we do. For the sake of all the Oilers fans, I'd go maybe the Oilers have the advantage in putting together a decent amount of offense. They have not done that at all this season, clearly. But maybe this helps them open up the floodgates offensively. You get a goaltender who's young, inexperienced at the NHL level. You got a Penguins team that's there's some good elements. There's, 2 of the best to ever play it, but they're in their late stages of their careers. And then I'd throw Chris Letang in there, who's fantastic and has been for a long time. But the Penguins as a whole, I don't think threaten a lot of people and scare a lot of people when their teams face the Pens.
The Oilers have kind of rolled this team too, right? So
recently, yeah.
So I have a good feeling for tonight. Mac T and Dr. Randy Gregg going up on the wall of fame. I feel like the Oilers are gonna. I feel like this one will not be close.
Could we get an Oilers Elks double win night?
When's the last time we had that?
A couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I remember looking on the TSN website and there was Oilers win, Elks win. I was like, wow.
That'd be awesome.
Good for Edmonton sports fans. It's been a while.
Maddie.
It's been a while.
When's the last time Oilers and Elks won on the same night?
How am I supposed to know that off the top of my head?
Well, because you're like
Elks haven't won a lot of football games.
You're a robot.
That's what I mean.
So that's gonna
Yeah.
take a while.
They have not won a lot of games.
They haven't won in October, so it can't be recently.
What time is it?
12:38.
Yeah, he's gonna. Maddie's on it. He's on it. 780-218-9999. Yes, absolutely. Could see this being a high-scoring game. Eden, thanks for the text. And if it ends up being that way, I could see it being in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Andrea saying, Tommy, don't jinx. I'm not jinxing it. Andrea, come on. Come on. Positivity. Manifest it. Manifest it. And like Nanso said, you got the Randy Gregg, Craig McTavish Hall of Fame induction post-game ceremony. So hopefully the team gives the fans reason to stick around.
Yes.
And they can enjoy the night, send them off in good spirits, and then a nice way to cap it off with a Hall of Fame induction. The Oilers Hall of Fame, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think they've crushed it. I'll give OEG their props for that one because I think, it's nice to see the alumni back together. Joaquin will be out there as he does, as well as many other Oilers alumni as McTavish and Greg are raised to the Ring of Honor.
That's going to be great.
It will be fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at these Pittsburgh Penguins, all right? So in their last few games, they are winless in 3. They dropped an overtime decision to the Flames the other night. They lost to Winnipeg prior to that to start this road trip and then dropped a game to Carolina. They beat Buffalo, Montreal, and Detroit so far this season. So they're at 3-4-1, winless in 3. Gave the Flames a good fight. What does that mean to you, though? Because the Flames, although playing good,
Hey, they were undefeated at that point.
I still don't think they're great, and they're going to come back down to reality. What does that say about this Pens team? What do you think?
I think anytime you have Gino and Sid, I think you're always going to have a chance. And like you said, Ricard Raquel's having a good year.
He is.
Jesse's at 5 points on the fourth line. Drew O'Connor's an interesting player. And their back end, they got some veterans. Letang and Carlson. Marcus Pettersson's pretty good. Is it Pettersson or Peterson?
No, he's Elias Pettersson's brother.
Oh, okay.
Pettersson.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Anyway, so, and I think goaltending's a little bit of a question mark for them.
100% it is.
So this is a team the Oilers should have no issues with. They just gotta bring their lunch pail. Are you ready, Maddie?
If Edmonton plays the type of game it did against Carolina and Dallas for the first 2 periods, they win this game running away.
I agree.
They put up 4 or 5. Now, if they revert back to playing the way they did against Chicago and Calgary, we could be talking about a different story. They opened the door to the Pens.
Yeah, and Winnipeg.
What year do you think?
2021.
I'll go 2019.
2021 was a game where they played at the same time. The Elks beat Toronto.
Yeah.
Edmonton lost that game. They were in Winnipeg. They lost. That one I thought was maybe going to be 2019 was the answer.
2019.
October 12th, 2019, the Edmonton Elks defeated the BC Lions at Commonwealth Stadium, which would have been their last home win before that.
That's right.
The Oilers went to New York. They started off that season 5-0. They beat the Rangers 4-1 on October 12th, 2019. To the 2021 year, because that was also the Canada Soccer game. Canada Soccer won that day.
Ice Teka.
Wait. The Oilers beat the Rangers that day?
Yeah. They were in New York.
Huh.
And then so in 2021, when the Elks beat the Argos, that was on November 16th. The Oilers on November 16th lost to Winnipeg.
Okay.
But it was 2019 was the last time. That not
October
including
12th.
any preseason. I didn't look at September's with
Preseason.
those don't count.
Yeah.
But 2019.
Nice.
October 12th, 2019. The Oilers beat the Rangers in New York. The Elks beat the
BC
Lions
for their
here.
last home win and for the next many, many years.
4 years. It took them 4 calendar years to win another damn home game. And I could remember everybody being just overcome with joy against the Ottawa Red Blacks last year. And then they got their second home win of the season in the Labor Day rematch.
Yes.
And I remember seeing a lady crying with joy as I left Commonwealth that night. So, yeah.
It was great.
Could they do it tonight? Potentially. Got Cameron Dukes going, and I think Nick Arbuckle will be getting some reps as well for the Argos. No Chad Kelly. And then can Trey Ford put his stamp on this season? Can Jarius and Giroy finish 7-6 since taking over for Chris Jones?
Is that what it'd be?
They're 6-6 right now.
Yeah, that'd be good. Be good.
Yeah.
Man, if you could have won one of those first 7, 2 of those, changes everything, Tommy. And they were close on a few. Should have not. Anyways, this is the oil stream.
Yeah, it's the oil stream. Anyway, it could be a good sports day. It should be. And listen, if the Elks beat the Argos, great. If the Oilers beat the Penguins, excellent. Good. Get
Let's
things
go.
back on track. 3-4-1. Sounds all right.
Let's go.
It's not great, but they'll be well ahead of where they were at this point last year. And then the icing on top is they celebrate McTavish and Dr. Randy Gregg, going up into the Oilers Hall of Fame. That would be a lovely sports Friday in this city.
Yeah.
I think it could happen.
It'll be fun. I hope they win. Everybody there at the Elks could finish off the season on a high, and then just a double whammy, right?
Yeah.
Oil Kings too.
Oil Kings on a 9-game road trip.
In Everett tonight.
In Everett tonight.
3-0.
Let's see if it happens.
We'll see.
Everett's a good team. All right. Get those texts in. 780-218-9999. Nasty chat, do your thing. We're inside the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. Of course, go to Popeyes to get your boneless wings. The boneless wings are a continuation of their bone-in wings platform, which will allow customers the choice between their ghost pepper bone-in wings or their all-white meat boneless wings with a milder flavor. With the success of their current wings platform, we are continuing to lean on our existing sauce offerings, including Signature Hot, Honey Garlic, Honey Barbecue, and Garlic Parm, as well as classic Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. So good. Their wings they're very, very handsomely breaded.
Yes. They're very good, too.
Lots and lots of succulent white meat and breaded deliciousness with sauce. Yum.
Who's in net for the Oilers tonight? We're assuming
Skinner.
Stuart Skinner, right? Or is that confirmed?
It is unconfirmed at this point. Joel Blomqvist is confirmed for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh.
You like that?
Who confirmed that? Well, we're going to have Taylor Haas on from DK Pittsburgh.
The Penguins confirmed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Penguins?
The Pittsburgh Penguins. I believe yesterday Stu Skinner was working in the starter's net.
Oh, okay.
That's usually an indicator before an optional practice. All right. What else do we have? The Liquid Beaver. Oilers' best D-man is playing in St. Louis. I kid, boys. I kid. Liquid Beaver, I like what you did there. Well done. Hampton Steve texting in says, afternoon, boys. The Oilers better win tonight or the post-game ceremony for Dr. Greg and Mac T could be sparse. Any idea why the organization didn't just make the formal part of the ceremony its own event last night or tomorrow night? Not like the Oilers organization to turn down the opportunity to charge their fans / customers twice. Well said, Hampton Steve. I think they just wanted to keep it as like traditional, across the board, standard NHL ceremony like we see anywhere else in the league. I know that they were told that last year's Oilers Hall of Fame ceremony with Dougie Waite and Charlie Huddy ran long. So they tried it they're trying it after the game this year, which even when I was talking to members of OEG, they're like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But they tried to go earlier with Kevin Lowe 2 seasons ago. And I think this is fair to say the crowd wasn't,
at their seats.
that robust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so last year, just the length kind of got them into some hot water with the league. So the league said, figure it out. And they're going to try to do a post game. And then the whole, make it a second ceremony on a different night to turn a quick buck. I find that funny, and there's some truth to it, but I think they just want to keep it on a game night type of thing.
Yeah. It's hopefully people stick around and
I hope so.
And give those guys the what's the word I'm looking for? Credit they deserve and all that. So Mike T's a beauty. I've never met Dr. Randy Gregg, but I've heard he's awesome.
Briefly met him. I played against his son in hockey. Yeah, it's very nice. Everybody speaks very highly of him and what he's doing with the Riverhawks, their partnership there, and Steve Hogle, absolutely fantastic. They got that ballpark humming.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun time.
Hampton Steve also adds, the Oilers playing against a young and inexperienced goalie. When has that ever ended poorly for the Oilers? Cue a Pittsburgh shutout tonight.
Oh, boy.
Lucas Dostal, anybody?
Lucas Dostal, yeah, he was excellent. Yeah, I always remember, this is back, the Oilers are really bad. Garrett Sparks.
Shutout. Yeah.
He was going to be the next big thing in Toronto. Didn't work out that way.
that
Chris G says, if the Oilers lose tonight, I'm going streaking down White Ave and asking my wife if KFC's still open.
Classic Frank the Tank. Well done, sir. Well done. Mike from Calgary says, boys, don't the Oilers stink out the joint on celebration games?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. They have a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe
They have a
break that.
hard time reading the room, showing up. So
Hey, win this one.
yeah.
It's a big night.
I'm a little concerned now that they brought up this rookie goal. Well, I don't know if he's a rookie, but this young goaltender who's 22 years old.
Let's take a look at his career stats, shall we? If you're wondering who the heck we're talking about, that's Joel Blomqvist, who's 2-2 this season, .316 GAA, .908 save percentage in the 4 games he's played. He is 22 years old. He was a second rounder in 2020, and this will be his first ever start against the Oilers. This is his 5th ever NHL game tonight.
47 games in the AHL, and then played 21 games for Karpat of the SM Liga.
SM Liga.
So his best year was in 2021-22 in the AHL, 926 save percentage, 205. But ignore that because he only played one game and then one game. But last year, 45 games, 921 save percentage, 216 GAA. That's pretty good.
Those are good numbers. Yeah. So we've got a goalie situation in Pittsburgh early on this season. Tristan Jarry, like Nanso said, back in Pittsburgh working on his game. I feel like you and Gage are going to have to talk about that because that's a dilemma. Jarry, of course, the former Oil King, leading them to the Memorial Cup in 2014. I believe Tristan still has a place here and Summers here. But and he signed a nice ticket with the Penguins, and sometimes teams understand that their goalies go through rough spots and let them work through it. What a novel concept.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one. 29 years old. I'm really high on him still. I mean, the team is not.
They're not a good team.
They're not a good team, but yeah, he can be sitting at over 5 goals against average at this point in the season. We'll see if he can turn it around. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, Tom. I wonder if they're trying to move him. I wonder if they're contemplating putting him on waivers.
I don't think so. You're going to go to Alex Nedeljkovic and Joel Blomqvist?
Hey, what if this Joel guy is just unreal? Like a Jordan Binnington.
What a revelation. Great scouting, great development if they pull that off.
Can you imagine if this young man outplays Stuart Skinner tonight? Well, I know you can imagine.
I know what you're going to be dealing with post-game if that's what happens.
Oh, boy.
Good luck.
Please, please, Skinner, play well tonight.
That's all. That's all you're asking for. What do you have coming up on EST afternoons and then the pre- and post-game show?
Yeah, we'll talk a lot of Oilers, obviously a lot of Elks. We'll have Reed Wilkins in studio.
I know him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Awesome, dude.
Gager's boss and comedian, Kent Tilley, at 1:40.
He's very funny.
And then Taylor Haas, Penguins reporter for DK Sports in Pittsburgh. She's here in Edmonton, so she's going to join us via phone and kind of just give us a quick update on the Pens. And then, just close out the show, relax for a bit, prep for the pregame show, and then just... It's going to be a fun night, though. Elks, Oilers, have them on, probably Elks on my phone or laptop.
Yep.
Oilers on the tube there. So it's going to be a good one, Tom. It's going to be fun.
See what happens. Oilers and Penguins. It is Craig McTavish and Randy Gregg, Oilers Hall of Fame night. Those two gentlemen being inducted tonight. If you're going down to the game, the ceremony is following the conclusion of the Oilers and Penguins. And then our friend Bob Stauffer posting a picture of the D-men from the 84 and 85 Oilers, Don Jackson, Randy Gregg, Lee Fogland, Kevin Lowe, Charlie Huddy, and Paul Coffey hanging out in the Oilers Hall of Fame room. Mac T was down there as well. Mac T, I think, will be on... is he on your show or Reed's show? Sorry, I was listening.
Reed's show.
That's right. So it's going to be good. All right. Final thoughts here. Text them in, 780-218-9999. Chief Andy says, tonight's game will be the battle of the grandpas. And then James B says, if Skinner can play like he did against Carolina, the Oilers should win this. And X-Ray J, you got to give it up. Yes. Oilers will lose this game because of the goalie coach, who will have zero scouting report on Joel Blomqvist. X-Ray J, I love you, and I said it to you the other day. They're not losing, and the goalies aren't playing bad because of the goalie coach. He's got other guys under his repertoire in the league that do just fine.
Got to stop with that, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're just, at this point, it's low-hanging fruit. Just keep blaming the same person. And who knows? Maybe, I mean, if they had a different goalie coach, Tom, they'd still be 2-4-1.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
So if you're going to, when Stuart Skinner gets on a roll and wins 6 games in a row, you're not going to give the goaltending coach any credit.
I don't think he got any for the 16-game win streak. Not even for the 8-game win streak.
You can't have it. You can't say it when he's bad and not say it when he's good, right? You can't do it just to fit your narrative. We need to stop that. And I don't know if Dustin Schwartz is the guy, but
X-Ray J is not going to give it up. He is fed up with the goalie coach. That's not why they're losing. Chief Andy says, off to watch tonight's game and fast forward just for them to skate at normal speed. Ooh, Chief Andy. That's harsh. Well, you know what? When they pass the puck, well, Gager said it last year, and he's right. He says, watch the Oilers in the first 10 minutes, how the defense move the puck up. If they're quick, efficient, and accurate, usually they have a good night.
Yeah.
When they're sloppy, when they're waiting and waiting and waiting, it tends to lead to or be an indicator of a rough night for them. So that's kind of one of the tells of this team, and I feel like it's carried over from last year into this year.
Zach Holman, no, because his track record is terrible. Well, the Oilers are one win away from going to winning it all. I mean,
Yeah, they finished 5 straight years, second in the division. Anyway,
okay.
hey, if that's what you think, that's great. We love you regardless. We'll see how they do tonight. What if Stuart Skinner has a great night? X-Ray J, if Stu Skinner has a great night tonight, I want to see some texts pointing out how good the goalie coach was tonight. And if they get to Joel Blunt.
If Stuart Skinner has an awesome night, it won't be because of Stuart Skinner. It'll be because the team played amazing defensively.
X-Ray J is going to go with
probably.
tonight? Okay, okay, I get it. Hey, we're giving you the gears because we love you, X-Ray J. We appreciate it, as always. Thanks for joining us on the Oil Stream. The Oilers taking on the Penguins, 7 o'clock tonight. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Hernan Trev goes at 6 p.m. right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And then check out, of course, the Green and Gold kickoff and postgame show also here on EST. It'll be on the YouTube channel at 6:30 with Maddie and Milne. That's going to do it for the Oil Stream. For Hernan Salas, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for putting up with us and letting us give you the gears, X-Ray J. We'll talk to you later.